Okay, I'm going to try to do this without being emotional. I was asked to do this as, I'm not as educated as you. I mean, you are just full of information and all that. I am here as an example of somebody who decided to do this. How I found out about it was on Facebook about 2.5 years ago. There was a senior dogs in need, and I'm like, you know, as a dog owner, I was not even aware that there was aged dogs. And it just makes me sick. All right, I'm going to try to do this. Okay. So anyway, so I decided, well, let me check into this, and I went on the internet and searched out senior dogs on Pet Finders. And I came across Roxy First from 11th Hour. She had stage 4 cancer, and I went and I met her and I adopted her. My dog got along great with her. She didn't last long. She was only with me 3.5 months. But that dog had a great time. She rolled in the grass. She played with my dog. She had great doggy beds to lay on. You know, she was so happy. You know, unfortunately, it was the cancer that, you know, I had to euthanize her in the end. She's buried at my brother's house. You know, I can't let them go anywhere else, but somewhere where I know. My second dog, Roy, I also got from 11th Hour. They said he didn't have long. Please come get him. I came and got him. He got him once again. Another great, happy dog. Got along great with my dog. Rolled in the grass. Howled like crazy when he was outside. Enjoyed everybody. He was a blast. He only lasted 12 days. But once again, he passed on his own, actually. You know, glad to have him. I mean, you know, so many people will look at this and say, oh, you know, how can you do this? And it's like, because if I don't, those dogs didn't have this. Which leads me to Shelly, which leads me to Pets Live. Once again, back on Pet Finders, because 11th Hour didn't have any really aged seniors, and I'm trying to do the ones that are in their last time. I don't want the senior dog that's 8 years old that's going to live another 4 years. I want to be there for the dog that doesn't have a lot of time and that needs to get help, you know, before it's too late. So Shelly, I'm thinking, well, she's been here 15 years and she was 16 when I got her from you guys. I'm like, you know, couldn't be that much longer, even though she didn't have any health issues. She did have a weak hind end. And, you know, my concern, you know, was not much. She was in great mode, you know. She had a good time. She actually learned, she got strength at my house. She, you know, for the first month, she had a little harder time adapting. She was a little more timid. You have to give them time and just keep trying and have faith that they're going to come around. And she did. It took her, all the other dogs, it only took a few days. Shelly, she gave me a month of like, no way, you know, you scared me, this is weird, you know. And then she got used to it. She didn't move anymore when I went to lay with her on the ground every night. And she started to get back in shape, and she could canter again and run, and she would do circles in the turned out area, you know, and I was like, really? Yeah. So, and then one time she actually rolled over on her bed, like she's rubbing, and she rolled over, and I was so proud of her. I was like, how old are you? And you just rolled over. Like, you know, like little things like that people don't understand. This is the joy in it. If you bring them home and you see them like light up, them gain strength, them enjoy, and like, especially that's why I'm going to stay here with these guys until these dogs that have been here their entire life are done being here. You know, you get all these poor dogs. I mean, you can imagine being in a kennel for 15, 13, 14, which is Smokey. You know, I just had him. He was with me for 29 days. And he was just great. He was a little weak when I got him. All of them, I put them on a joint med immediately. I have pain meds if in fact they need a little bit here and there on certain days. He started to build up a little better. He was trotting in the field, and he was jumping on the picnic table to get my steak and jumping up on the kitchen table. And my other dog, my 4-year-old, was looking at me like, you know, you gonna yell at that? You know, it's okay, seniors are allowed to do whatever, that you can break every rule you want, you know. And I was so proud of him that he did that. I was like, God, he's having a blast, you know. I mean, God bless him. You know, he didn't, it was 29 days, but his 29 good days, he jumped on the couch, he jumped on my recliner while it was rocking, and still worked it, and still laid down. I'm like, I mean, it's what a pleasure to see that. I mean, you don't understand how wonderful it is to see that. And And Lucinda is the one that I have currently. I got her from here in January. I said I want the oldest, sickest, next going out the door dog. That's who I am, hospice, not senior. And they're all like, oh, please take Lucinda. I wasn't even looking at Lucinda online. I was like, all right, who's Lucinda? Fine. And she was sad and pathetic. I'm like, oh, poor Lucinda, declining, losing a little weight. Yeah, okay. Well, so now she runs like crazy. She plays with my dog. She jumps on the gate. She gets down. She's absolutely full of herself. She gained weight. I let her loose, and she runs down the farm driveway like, see ya, and I mean, this is a dog. I will leave these people like messages. Really? Like we're supposed to have a hospice dog, and she does not want to be the hospice dog, and she's still doing well. I should have brought her tonight, but I didn't, and that's the end of that. But she's still doing well. I can't even say that she's not even had a bad day yet. She's not declining. She's still doing great. So I'm like, all right, 6 months. I don't know. I guess she'll have her ear before I I was like, she lied. But that's why I do it, because it's a fabulous thing to see these dogs so happy. And I do recommend it to other people. You're putting a dog down somewhere along the line. Yeah, that's sad. Yes, people, I cry. Yeah, it takes me about a week, and then I'm okay, because I know as a human being that I will move on, just as we do from anybody or anything we've ever loved. We repair. I know that. If I don't do this, these particular dogs would not have had me. And I don't own a home. I'm a renter. Thank God these people in the 11th hour don't have those stipulations where, oh, you can't take a dog home because you don't own a home and you're not married. Granted, I work during the day. They're home, but they're laying on carpet or doggy beds, a couch, or a bed. And I'm not thinking that's so bad for them, So I'm really happy to do it, and to come get the next one. I get excited like a kid coming to get a toy at the toy store. Like, oh my God, who gets to come home with me next? I love it. I help spread the word by Facebook. There was 2 articles done, River Patch and Pets Alive did an article. I voice it to everybody I can. Please, we have to have more soldiers for the cause, because there's so many people that are afraid to do this for fear of getting hurt and having to go through it. And I'm like, you've got to put the dog first. I mean, if you don't, these guys are going to stay back here, and it's just not fair to them. I'm just so, I get a huge pleasure out of it. Would I recommend it? Yeah, God, I know I'm going to repeat myself, but I'm just hoping that this was great that John, organized this. Please think about it. Yes, I have a great vet that does not force everything down my throat. Let's do this. I'm not going to do that to these dogs. These dogs are going to come home with me. I have the meds at home to keep them comfortable. If there's something that I don't have, my vet will give it to me, and I will take care of it at home. They only go in for their initial checkup, and that's it. Because I don't want them to have their last moment being stressed out, being, oh, let's do this, this, and that, and then we're going to keep them overnight. In fact, a friend just did that, and their dog died in the kennel. Great. Or at the vet, at the vet, and she thought it was coming home, and I'm like, that's what I don't want for these dogs. I want them to be happy. I want it to be peaceful. That vet works with me that way. My other vet, who's retired now, will come to the house in the end, and I don't have to take them out of the house, and then they're buried on the farm that I live at. So it's such a great, it's peaceful, it's loving. I'm with the dog. So much better than, they're in a kennel. What if they're getting sick overnight? They're having a bad night, like Smokey had a bad night. It was bad a few nights, but it was really bad the last night. And I laid with him. I canceled my work, and I laid with him for 24 hours. From that day, overnight, called my vet in the morning. It was what it was. I mean, that's the reality of it. But the flip side is, if you don't do it, oh my God. It's just not fair. That's like putting your elderly mother out on the streets and saying, hey, here's the concrete world. How do you like it? That's not a place. Their farms are old. And especially these dogs that have been here forever, God, you know, they need to know what a home is. To watch them open up and light up and enjoy life. And oh God, Smokey would just hound me for treats, and Lucinda jumps for treats. I mean, I don't even get it out of the bag, and she's jumping up trying to get it out of my hand. You know, and it's such a pleasure. I mean, I can't say enough about the pleasurable side of it. You know, the bad side is a short time. We move on, and to come pick another dog. I'm going to look at dogs tonight. Lucinda's still here. I'm like, Lucinda's going to be here for a while. I don't think she's going anywhere, so I might as well look at another one while I'm here, you know. And my 4-year-old that I adopted from an Oklahoma shelter, he's awesome with every single one of these dogs. He welcomes them. He plays when they want to play. If they don't want to play, he leaves them alone. He lets me, you know, lay with them, and he's not jealous. And it's a great thing. So I really hope somebody in here got spurred by tonight's, you know, and seeing this dog and just what he has said and what I have said. And please just think about it. It's such a pleasure to see. And the messes happen. Actually, Lucinda potty trained in 24 hours. Smokey did it in 48. She did it within 24 hours.
Yeah, a lot of them just need a reminder.
And Smokey's.
Oh my God, I do it on a weekend. I do it purposely on a Saturday morning, pick them up so I have 48 hours to...
Smokey learned how to be house trained, and he lived here since he was a puppy. So it's possible.
Oh, absolutely possible. That's what I'm saying.
And
like they
Lucinda
can...
also came in as a baby, so...
Right.
They
Lucinda,
can learn no
she's
matter
tight
how.
as like, there was one day it was 13 hours. I was like, oh God, I gotta get home. She was fine. She held it. I mean, they can do it. The only one, Shelly, was a problem, and she would get UTIs all the time, and that didn't help it. But that's it. I mean, she was just a little bit. She didn't get it as well, but she did when she went out. She went. I mean, she was awesome. She wasn't like she was like, oh, I'm not going to go outside because I'm here. But you know, I have a shampooer. I have a Swiffer with, you know, the agents in it. If it's on a tile floor and if it's in the shampoo, it's fine. It's totally fixable. You know, there's not a problem. I mean, you know, I just, you know, once again, I hope that more people do it, because I'm not going to stop. I'm going to do it until I'm done. You know, until I'm out of here, I'm going to do this. This is my purpose. I'm glad I came across it 2.5 years ago. I'm very thankful for the internet, and I continue to be.
Yeah, that's it.